All right, here we are, Tuesday, Mars's Day, my favorite man. Yeah, let's get it started. Here's fucking Tuesday morning. Oh man.
Fucking Tuesday morning.
Fucking Tuesday morning.
God damn it.
That's what happens when I stutter, just a swear word comes out instead.
Oh man, that's probably what I'm doing all the fucking time.
Fucking Tuesday is my favorite fucking day.
Yeah?
I think.
Yeah.
It's just, there's something warm about it, something even about it. You know, to me, second day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know. You kind of like, as an individual, people have propensity towards odds or even numbers. I don't know where that comes from or why, but I'm an even girl myself, even though some of my favorite numbers are odd. Learn something new every morning.
Learn something new every morning.
You know?
Why don't we do a Om?
Cool.
Let's do one breath and then we'll do an Om.
Yeah, we forgot to do this yesterday.
Yeah,
so we got to
that's
really nail it.
Yeah. We need it more than ever on Tuesday, so.
Join in with us. Join it in.
Okay, let's do an inhale. Oh, nice reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets me almost a little too relaxed for Tuesdays. A
Yeah.
little too relaxed for Mars energy.
Yeah.
Have a little sip of the coffee.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
There you go.
The family coffee. Even that deep breath, I could already feel like my whole energetic body shift. It's crazy that we don't fucking pay more attention to breathing in this fucking culture in the world and society. Like, you hear stuff about it, but not nearly enough. One deep breath will fucking change your outlook on the situation. 3.
Yeah. I remember even just beginning breath work when I was doing yoga teacher training when I was younger and actually being quite overwhelmed by the idea of focusing on breath because it seemed almost too viscerally like you were looking at the face of life and controlling it. You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be involuntary. It's supposed to be the non-conscious thing. It's supposed to be like you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And then stepping into this like, oh, but you should and it can help you. It was almost like that responsibility was crushing to think about. I was like,
That was me telling you yesterday. I was like, the first time I learned meditation, I had like a total mental breakdown because it was like a old version of myself was dying where I thought like the stories were important. And as soon as I realized like I can enter a world and a reality and a realm where like I'm letting go of things and shedding and not having attachment, you kind of, your ego's like, wait, what about me? I'm scared and I need you to love me in my fear space.
Yeah, totally. And I'm doing a little bit like preemptive to shadow work day, but I do think there's so much around any of the parts of your personalities that are in darkness have this inherent belief that the light will kill them. And that's why they don't want to go towards it. And of course it's not true. Yeah. But it's having to like unpack that lie that's integrating your shadow parts, you know? Yeah. Telling those parts of yourself it's okay. Like,
we have friends that won't hesitate to take ayahuasca, but mention breath work around them, and they're like, not for me or whatever. And I'm like, that's really interesting. I think it's to what you just said. It's almost like it's too real. Like with the ayahuasca, it's like it's mystical and it's mysterious and whatever. Just listening to your breath it's fucking real as hell. I call it the word of God.
Yeah, well, and with ayahuasca, it's another spirit. So you're like getting to have, you know, sex with this amazing plant spirit, and you guys are getting to relate with your breath. It's just you and you and you. And then you.
Yeah.
And then you.
And then you.
Oh, and you too. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had that thing happen to you? What was that thing that happened to you the first time you ever did it? It's called something.
Tendinitis or tide.
Oh, you got lobster claws.
Yeah.
There's a type of breathing I do with this lady. I'm forgetting what the name is, but you're supposed to get there. Like the whole purpose is to get there, and I love it.
Lobster claws.
Yeah, it's really good to be through that process too, with just like knowing that it will stop, because similar to like being in pain or getting tattooed or whatever, it's that process of like, okay, I know this is temporary, even though my pain receptors are telling me it's not.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what your nervous system naturally does. It's like emergency.
It's why it's so scary the first time it happens.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm stuck like this. Like I literally, I think it's called tinnitus or something.
Why that position? And you hear everyone say the same fucking thing. It's just like,
well, because it's the furthest away from your heart, and your heart is not getting blood like to your fingers or oxygen to your fingers.
oh, damn.
You were showing us these pictures of paintings of angels, and it was like there's no head, or it was an orb, and there was an orb at the heart, and then it was like perfectly rendered out hands. And I just it made so much sense to me to even see angels in that form, because like even us, like we can see our hands. It's like how we interact with the material world. It makes sense.
Did you see that when you mentioned angels?
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was weird. We weren't supposed to talk about angels this week,
know,
and then
we weren't
Cass
supposed to talk about
fucking
angels.
brought them up, and there they are again. What the fuck?
Amazing. And hands too. I was talking about like our north nodes, and north node being in Gemini, and Gemini rules the hands. And I do think like, yeah, it's such a powerful, I stare at my own hands all the time, and I think they're incredibly fascinating. Whenever I meet people, it's actually one of the first things I try and observe, because I think they're super they're like almost poetic about people. You know, you look at their hands, and not just the shape of them, but talking about Virgo energy, how they treat them.
Oh, this is me.
How
like,
rough are your hands? How
Or you can see me like throughout a podcast, like, okay.
Cass has these little like raw areas on the insides of her thumbs, because she'll do like stuff like
my
that.
excess energy that comes out like that because I don't exercise or something.
Yeah.
The hands are a dead giveaway. You see someone that like you could tell if someone bites their nails.
Dead
you're
giveaway.
like, dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway. It's
For
our favorite
me,
phrase.
like if you were to come up and hold my hand, you'd probably think I was a chick. Like these hands were made for loving. They have not done a lot of physical labor. They're a lot younger than the rest of me, for sure.
Try to keep it that way.
Yeah.
My hands, I feel like are the most masculine part of me.
Yeah,
they're so big.
I think you have lady fingers.
And do so much. Well, they're definitely like, as my mother says, aristocratic in form. She always called her, this is actually rare great things from my mother, called her fingers turnip picking fingers, which is such a great expression. Yeah. She's like, that's what they're made for.
Sounds like an expression from the 1830s.
It does sound like
what the fuck?
Turnips, aristocrats.
Oh, damn, you got some
your mom might be
turnip-picking
trapped
hands.
in a past life or something.
100%. 100%. Yeah, no. Big hands, and they're pretty calloused. I have small feet. No.
Do we bring this around to Tuesday about, because it is Tuesday with being Mars Day. It's the day that like initiate stuff, and usually you initiate stuff with your hands. And
yeah, your warrior spirit, your driving force, definitely yang energy, the fire within you, the torch, how to keep it lit. Yeah, how do you want to use your hands? How do you want to use your hands on people?
Yeah,
that's a really good question.
How do you want them reaching out? One of my favorite song lyrics, see if I can remember it, by Florence Welch, is "Gimme hands to pray with, not ones that hold too tightly."
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, because no clinging, just like presence.
Love her so much. Yeah, there's so much good metaphor in what it is to grip and to hold. And
the lyric that comes to my mind is
"Hold on loosely,
no,
don't let it go." That's
that
one
one's
of Cass's
good.
favorites.
But reaching out, touching you, touching me.
fuck yes.
What is that
song?
from?
Touching me.
Touching you. Touching
Oh, the darkness.
me.
Touching you.
You're touching
So why don't you reach out and touch somebody today, even if it's yourself? Maybe Tuesday can be a little self-pleasure reward.
Use your hands on
Use
yourself.
your hands, fucking do something productive, and then fucking satisfy yourself so you can program this like action reward cycle into your week.
Good. That's really good. Yeah, reward yourself. Don't just start the day jacking off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. You got to earn that jack off.
Yeah,
Hands, fingers. I'm definitely looking at my hands and fingers so much more playing guitar.
yeah.
and my different finger personalities come out. You know what I mean? My middle one definitely has an attitude problem. I have to sometimes get it together. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to move you.
Yeah.
Because you're being bullish.
I'm so glad you're going through this, because you were patient with me while I was going through it a few weeks ago. And I'm like, Mare, I can't. She's just like, F sharp. You're playing on piano. F sharp. And I'm like, I'm trying. My pinky doesn't move like that. And it's so weird, because then I stop focusing on the pinky and I'm like, let's worry about the other fingers. And the pinky just finds its way. So the hands are fucking weird. They could do a lot of fucking crazy stuff.
Yeah, we have enough nerve endings in our hands to be, and raccoons do as well, totally random, but to be able to like put your hand into a purse and basically know all the things that are in the purse without looking. And there's only some species on the planet that can do that have enough nerve endings, but raccoons are one of them too.
Interesting.
Are you serious?
Cool.
What? Wow.
Pulling in that raccoon spirit. So look out for the raccoon synchronicities
Trash
today.
pandas.
Totally, trash pandas.
Tanuki Mario.
Yeah, little Tanuki. Is that what Tanuki is? Isn't that a raccoon?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of my big epiphanies, you look at my like acid journals and it's like, what are hands?
Classic. It's
stoner question.
that it is. Yeah, it's just like every movie where someone gets high, the first thing they do is like, oh,
Totally,
what the fuck?
totally.
Which is true. It is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I remember getting my hands tattooed, and what a like trippy experience it was, because that was full visual art time too, and to be looking at like art while it was making art. Totally changed things for me.
It's funny too with hand tattoos. It's like, as someone that doesn't have tattoos, that's the one they tell you to stay away from. Like, oh, don't do it. And you were even telling me that like sometimes you'll deny someone a hand tattoo.
I will.
If they're not like already committed to the thing.
I will.
Why is that?
I guess it's Saturn in me. I guess it's like dad archetype trying to protect young women from themselves, because I wish I had somebody that protect me from myself and my bad decision making. And it's just like, I guess I'm so averse to anything trendy, and I feel like now that tattoos are very in vogue and popular and models have them and actresses have them, and it's like very cool to have tattoos, it's a little bit scary, because that influence I know is interacting with all these clients and these young girls that are coming to see me. And that may not always be the case, right? Like, and so you just want to be careful. Like, yeah, you can't hide the hands. So you want to know that you have other tattoos. And living with tattoos is its own thing. I don't want to say skill set, but it's like its own art. It's its own way of life. And some people love it and it makes you a better person. And some people can't handle it. Like, they literally can't handle it. And so it's like, if I know you can handle it and you live with tattoos and you love them and you've grown with your own tattoos and you know how that relationship changes and you're able to evolve with it, then it's like, fuck yeah, let me tattoo your hands. If you've never dealt with that before, I'm not rolling dice like that on you and being the bitch that you're cursing into the night in 10 years, you know?
Because you were following a trend.
Because you were following
Having
a
to wear a
trend.
Band-Aid every day because you're like, I'm just...
Totally.
Let's cover this shit up. I don't need the cross on my finger anymore.
Should we talk about Kalima in the past couple minutes?
We probably should talk about Kalima in the past couple of minutes since I pulled this card. I guess with Mars, I always want to sort of bring it back to romanticizing separative energy just as much as we romanticize Venusian energy in the spiritual community. As I've said, I love Mars, and Mars is just as important as Venus, and I think obviously gets demonized most of the time. And Kali Ma can definitely relate as an archetype, being goddess of destruction. But we need the dark just as much as we need the light, and we don't have life without death, and death is not ending. It's just a portal and a transition to be welcomed and embraced just as much as life is. So Kali, Kali, Kali. May Kali, who takes away all sins, brings you joy. She was the only one able to destroy the terrible demons, Chanda and Munda. Kali gives courage and strength to a warrior on a battlefield littered with headless corpses. She robs the strength of those not devoted to her, though she gives good fortune to those who are. And the line about headless corpses, I love how metal and dramatic it is. But I think about Mars in those moments that I talked about last week on Mars, about getting up with your armor and going back out into battle when you don't have as much hope, right? We can kind of lose hope on Tuesday. We got on Monday. We still have the rest of the week to go. How do you get that steam in your engine when you see the headless corpses, and try and remember that you're still going to keep yours on as you battle the next fucking boss? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Kalima entered my world, my life changed, because I thought, that I had to hold on to my anxieties and my fears. And when I realized not only do I not need to hold on to them, me holding on to them hurts her because I'm starving her. And she wants to feast on all my fear and anxiety. And so, like, you know, you like, it out to her.
Cass taught me, we serve it up. It's actually part of our rituals, like, especially during a come up. You take fucking psychedelics. And there's like, oh my God, it's like that clicking up on a fucking roller coaster. And you're like, how high is this thing going to go before we start the ride? And during that time, Cass has taught me, it's just like, give it up to Kalima, whatever it is, just get it out, say it, fucking feed her, make her a fucking 3-course meal and serve it up to that motherfucker. She wants it, you know, and then you're not burdened with it.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Cool.
Fucking
powerful. Give it up to Kalima. It's Tuesday. Mare, Sean, and Cass. Come
right. Go touch yourself.